Made its way straight down to the bottom. Yes, it did. Jeff Miller's our vice president on our board. So, Jeff, you have to pronounce the author's name as well, right?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Let my soul smile through my heart, and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in sad hearts. And that's a quote from Paramhansa Yogananda.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. This actually fits so well with my message today. I'm like excited. A soul smile through my heart, and my heart smile through my eyes, that I may scatter rich smiles in sad hearts. Pretty nice, huh? Hey, I want to start off with a disclaimer. I have come to know that some of my colleagues, meaning other ministers on Sunday morning speaking, actually use ChatGPT to write their messages. I'm like, I do not do that. I do not do that in any. I was shocked. I don't know why. I guess I'm an older person that doesn't understand the allure of ChatGPT.
I don't know what it is.
You don't know what ChatGPT is?
No.
ChatGPT is artificial intelligence that allows you to put something in there, and then it creates writing for you. Yes, right, Jessica? You know that. It creates writing for you, like say, just like Adobe Workshop advertisement, say, just put in, I want to see a green elephant in a pink room, and it does it for you. You know, it just like creates it for you. I don't do any ChatGPT.
Thank you.
In my blog. I don't do it. This is all original. It's all original. And the second note is just this one word: vote. Just vote. Just vote. That's it. I've given a lesson last week from this book by Kahlil Gibran called The Prophet on giving, and I wanted to use it again. It came off my shelf. You know, this book has been on my shelf for 10 years. 10 years it's been on the shelf for 10 years. I had the opportunity to choose it from the personal library of Reverend Richard Levy as he was leaving Wilmington 10 years ago. And he allowed me to look through his library and choose any book that I wanted. And I chose this book. And it's been sitting on my shelf ever since. But it's no longer sitting on the shelf. It was written by Kahlil Gibran. Kahlil Gibran was born in Lebanon in 1883. And he emigrated to the United States. In the last 20 years of his life, up until 1931, he wrote in English versus his original Arabic language. So he was here in the United States. So this book was written in 1923. 1923. This happens to be published in 1972. It was the 90th printing of this book. And yeah, so I was like, wow, very interesting. And this book cost $4.50 back in 1972. So I've been really drawn to this book and drawn to these writings of Kahlil Gibran. And today's topic comes from this book. And I said last week, I gave you the little preamble, the little story that starts this book, which is the Prophet Al-Mustafa has been in this city of Orphalese for like 12 years. And he's finally at the top of the mountain, and he sees the ship coming in for his brothers and sisters to take him back to the isle of his birth. Okay, so he's in Orphalese, and he's excited because he gets to return. Interpret that however you wish, but that's what happens. He comes down the mountain, and the people who are in Orphalese, they are not happy to see him go because they know he has all this wisdom, and they know he hasn't shared it all with them. So the seeress Almitra comes up to him and says, hey, you can't leave yet. Why don't you share some of your wisdom with us before you leave? And so al-Mustafa says, what do you want me to speak of? What do you want me to speak of? What can I tell you? So this section I want to read to you has a priestess who spoke to al-Mustafa and said this: speak to us of reason and passion. Reason and passion. And he starts this way: your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion and your appetite. Would that I could be the peacemaker in your soul, that I might turn this discord and rivalry of your elements into oneness and melody. But how shall I, unless you yourselves be also the peacemakers, nay, the lovers of all your elements? Oh my God, I was just like drawn in. Doesn't this sound just so good? Well, what the heck is reason and passion? What does he mean by passion? What is he talking about here? That's what I was asking myself. What is passion? What is passion except desire wrapped in energy? Isn't that what passion is? Passion is desire wrapped in energy. It is this thrilling, exciting place to be, right? Passion. It's this thing that comes from inside of us that we cannot comfortably ignore, right? That's what passion is. Wow, it's that thing. And I'll tell you what, if there is not reason to accompany passion, we are like what? I mean, we go off the rails, right? We're crazy. It's craziness. That's what he's saying. There's got to be this other element in there to balance out the passion that we have. And the prophet is saying, well, that's reason. And what is reason but logic, right? What is reason but logic and sensibility, judgment? Here, I have it for you so you can see. That's what it is, right? Passion is desire wrapped in energy, and this reason, which is logic and sensibility, and judgment based in facts. That's what reason is. Well, we get in the same problem area if we only go to reason. If we only rely, on judgment based in the facts, we push down our passion. We hide it. We're afraid, right? That's what happens. It's like, no, it's both is what he's saying. It's both. It's reason applied to passion. That's what makes sense. That's how we can live a life and live in life that way. It's a balancing act. He says this: your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. All right? If either your sails or your rudder be broken, you can but toss and drift, or else be held at a standstill in mid-seas. That's what happens, right? You only have the rudder, no sail, you're not going anywhere. You only have the sail, no rudder, God knows where you end up. Right? For reason alone, ruling alone, is a force confining. And passion unattended is a flame that burns to its own destruction. Therefore, let your soul exult in your reason to the height of passion, that it may sing. And let it direct your passion so that you can live that passion. And like a phoenix, rise up from the ash. Isn't this brilliant? Isn't this absolutely brilliant? Because so often we think it's one or the other. That's what our minds do as human beings. Well, let me say one other thing too. This helps us, but it also helps the world, because I had this vision of us all in our sailboat. And if we don't have this balance and we're in community, we're just crashing into each other, causing a lot of havoc, causing chaos, because we're all just drifting about. As Megan said, we don't exist in solitude, we exist in community. So we do this for ourselves, but we do this for each other as well, so that we aren't crashing into each other. Look out, here I come. No, that's how it works. So it calls us to be aware aware of that, aware of our life, aware of what it is, aware of what it means, like Gibran says, to be a lover of all of your elements. Of all of your elements. Not one or the other, but all. But that's what we do sometimes. How often do we think, well, it's either this or that. You're either for me or against me. You mean that's the only two choices? I don't think so. I don't think so. You either make it or you break it. It's like, I don't think so. But we go there very often and too often. It's a limited way of thinking. It's like, why can't I love all of me? Why can't I love all of the elements of me? That's what he's calling, I believe, in the bigger picture, beyond reason and passion, but all of it. All of it. To love all of me. No competition, no rivalry, no good or bad, no getting rid of one and denying the other. No making this one, terrible and this one all I need. Like, no, not about rivalry, but about being a peacemaker in ourselves of the elements that we are already. To be the peacemaker inside of ourselves. It reminded me of this reading from The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. He also talks of this metaphor of sailing. And he talks about it this way. Imagine that feeling when the wind hits the sail just right, and you're holding the ropes just right, and you take off with a perfect feeling of balance. Then, of course, the wind shifts, as it will, because that's life. And what do? You adjust. You simply adjust the sail, or you adjust the rudder. You adjust to it. You, the wind, the sail, and the water, all one. All the forces in harmony. Should one force shift, the other shifts at the same instant. This is what it means to move in the way. This is what it means to live the Tao. And I've spoken with the Tao often from here, to be in the middle way. See, I used to think the middle way was about, I had to be numb to everything else. I had to be just like this. But it's not. It's feeling passion and having reason there as well. It's not saying, I can't be too passionate and I can't be too, judgmental of it and using only the facts. I have to find this middle place where no, it's both. And that's how we are in the middle way. It was a light bulb for me. I don't know if it is for you. Maybe y'all knew this stuff already. In the Tao of sailing, the balance point is not static. It is dynamic equilibrium. See, we think once we have it figured out that we're done, check box. Nah, pretty much not. Your life is an example of that. Just when you thought you had everything figured out, boom. Or boom, 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 boom in a row. Yeah, that's happened too, right? It's like the wind doesn't stay the same. The wind shifts. It calls us to do the same. You move from balance point to balance point, from center to center, all along. Peacemaking with all of your elements. Your whole interest should lie in the balance and not in any personal preference for how things should be. If that's the way life is, moving in that way. Moving in that way. So I have all this in my mind, and I was sitting yesterday morning having coffee in the living room, didn't have a lot of plans for the day, and I read an article online about the election. I know. I got mad. I mean, I was angry by what I read. I was angry by what I read. I said to Renee, and I sent it to Renee, of course, and I sent it to Olivia. I was angry. I was angry at what I read. I read it, but I was angry. Like, I was mad. And then I get a text from a friend of mine who tells me that someone that she trusted broke that trust to the point of involving the police. And I'm like, I texted her back and I said, I'm just mad. Like, I was mad again, like right in a row, mad. Like, what in the world is going on here? Like, that's All right, I was mad. I was mad. And then I remembered, just in that moment of madness, that somebody stole the shower trailer that Meg has for the homeless people from St. Jude's on Saturday evening. Somebody backed up to the shower trailer and took it. Doesn't that make you mad? Like, what in the world? I was mad. Mad, mad, mad. Then, I'm sitting there and I recognize that I have about 20 mosquito bites coming out of my legs. We had sat the evening before outside and we had had some cocktails and had some food for somebody who got fired from their job, and we were having this little gathering for them. And there weren't mosquitoes when we first went out. But I should know better, so I got mad at myself for sitting out there and getting eaten up by mosquitoes. I mean, mad. And I don't get a bite. I get a welt. You know, they get this big. Today, they are still itching me. They are still like, I'm not happy. I'm mad. Mad, mad, mad. So I was mad. I was angry. I was driving over to here to meet Annette for her workshop and make sure she had everything she needed. And she said, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm mad." I'm just mad. I'm mad about these things. And I didn't even give her all the details. Now you know, Annette. But I'm mad. And you know what, though? Annette did not try to fix me. Annette did not say, "Oh, you poor thing." We recognize with each other, like, it's okay to be mad. Like, it's okay to hold anger. It's one of my elements, and it is one of yours. And but as I was coming over here, you know what the possibility is of how you drive when you're mad? Yeah. So I was like, that's not what I wanted to do, was to drive mad. And I had this lesson in my mind, and I was like, okay, so what is it? What are the two elements that go together here, so that I don't swing way over here in anger, so that I can somehow find the middle way? And I decided that the other element was kindness. That I can be angry and I can be kind. That I can do both. That I can do both. That I did not have to scream down, the road, cutting people off and in and out because I was mad. That I could be kind. That I could be kind to myself. Yes, Polly, you should have known better than to sit out there without spray on your legs for those mosquitoes. I'm still mad at myself this morning with that. And I can be kind to myself as well. I can be angry and I can be kind. Both. I can lay my kindness over my anger. I can let it rest there. And that was my lesson to myself as I came over here. Yes, that. So here's how Kahlil talks about it, which is again brilliant. Among the hills, when you sit in the cool shade of the white poplars, sharing the peace and serenity of the distant fields and meadows, not where I was, but then let your heart say in silence, God rests in reason. And when the storm comes and the mighty wind shakes the forest and thunder and lightning proclaim the majesty of the sky, then let your heart say in awe, God moves in passion. And since you are the breath in God's sphere and a leaf in God's forest, you too should rest in reason and move in passion. Rest and move. Rest and move. Rest in anger. Move in kindness. Right? I can rest in. It's not about denying it or eliminating it in order to find a way. Rest in anger. Move in kindness. So I have a list for you. Because I was thinking about other ways. Right? So here we go. Rest in love. But love itself goes haywire just like passion does. Move in wisdom, right? Rest in taking in, move in letting go. These all don't fit exactly to what the prophet said about reason and passion, but it makes sense to me to rest in vision and move in focus, right? Vision is important. Vision is important, but also some people will say, I'm the idea person. Well, if we stay here and we don't go here, it never gets done. You know, all you idea people. Yeah. They like to hand it over to somebody else for this. It's like, well, I can't do it. I just have the idea. You know. But is one more important than the other? No. Rest in vision, move in focus, right? Rest in doubt. I have doubt. Doubt is not a bad thing. Doubt is not something we need to eliminate. I can rest in my doubt and I can move in trust. I can do both. I can rest in doubt and at the right time, putting that sail and that rudder in the sweet spot, I can move in trust. I can rest, similar, in hesitation. I can rest in that pause and I can move with intention. When I'm ready, I can put that. This is finding the sweet spots and not just eliminating one side or the other because I don't think it's good or I think it's bad. Rest in peace and move in strength. This is a really important one, I think. Rest in peace. Be peace. Megan talked about be that peace, but move in strength and with confidence. We can do that. We can do that. Rest in stillness and move with determination. Right? Rest in the stillness, but move with determination. Rest in this planning. Oh, everybody, you know, I told you before, I have plan A, plan B, and hopefully plan C. But what about this? I can rest in my planning, but what about if I move in spontaneity? If I'm always here, sometimes I get stuck in the mud or whatever it is here. But you see how they work together? This is the sweet spot in the sailboat analogy, metaphor, right? Is to do that, to rest and to move. To realize this is the way I can make peace with all of my elements of being, all the ways I am. To rest in anger and to move in kindness. To rest there and to move in kindness. Not to try to eliminate it. I believe that Gibran is brilliant with this. I came up with these, maybe not so brilliant, but they helped me to understand how to love myself, to be what he calls the peacemaker of my own elements. That's who can do it, not anybody else. He said, I can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to be the one to be the peacemaker of your whole being. I don't know about you, I'm not ready to ascend yet. So while I'm here, and while we're here, why don't we be that peacemaker in us? Why don't we be that peacemaker in both? In not necessarily opposites, but ways to trim the sail and point the rudder so that we catch the sweet spot in life. Yeah? So let's take that into meditation this morning. And take a deep breath if you would. And consider this. What, it just, Your reason and your passion are the rudder and sails of your seafaring soul. And fill in the blank, your reason and your passion, your love and your wisdom, your doubt and your trust. If either your sails if either your sails or your rudder are broken, you're just going to toss and drift. Or you're stand still. Because one without the other does not allow us to be in the sweet spot, does not allow us to be in that center place. Not that place of numbness and not feeling, but that place of peacemaking with every single element that we are. So let's just sit for a little while together. Divine Father, Mother God, and so it is today. The day I look in the mirror. The day I am ready to see my truth. The day I will bare my soul to myself and hear it whisper. I will love all my imperfections. I will nurture all my strengths. I will embrace all my challenges. For I know I am here to grow. Today I look in the mirror and I see a beautiful me as created by you, imperfect in every way that is perfect, just as you intended. Lovely, magnificent me, divinely woven from love, with grace, always and forever, me.
Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. 'Cause we sick and tired of the easy squeezing, get down to go to heaven in a Jesus name, Lord. We know and we understand. understand that mighty God is a living man. You can't fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Now we see the light. We're gonna stand up for our right. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your rights. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. Say, don't give up the fight. Come on. Don't give up the fight. 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 Hey, the opposite of love is not hatred, it's indifference. Make sure you go out and vote and stand up for your rights.